During an early spring morning in India, you'll often hear this sound emanating from the treetops. It is known to have such a penetrative quality through air that it seems to be coming from a much closer source than it actually is. And it is produced by this shy, secretive creature hiding in the foliage. Asian quails belong to the branch of the bird family tree called the columbates in the order Cuckooliforms or the cuckoos, which are known for being secretive birds that hide in the canopy and have very loud and noticeable calls. But they are also known to be brood parasites, meaning they lay their eggs in the nests of other birds for their chicks to be raised by the hosts. For example, the Indian hawk cuckoo, which also mimics a predatory bird called the shikra, parasitizes the jungle babbler, which is a very commonly found bird even in the cities, which we'll talk about in the next video. This is part 2 of the Sultanpur National Park series about my sightings in the place during last winter. We talked about the Galloanserae and Mirandornithes containing ducks and grebes in the last video, which was part 1. Coming to the columbates, there are two branches, the Otedimorphae including the cuckoos and bustards, and the Columbimorphae including sandgrouse and pigeons and doves, like these Eurasian collared doves. Doves and pigeons love staying near human settlement, which you probably know very well, because if you live in any city in North India, you're probably neighbors with an abundance of laughing doves and rock pigeons. Eurasian collared doves are almost always found nesting near some kind of human habitation. The males and females are known to nicely divide parental responsibilities, like an egg incubation schedule, where the female incubates the eggs at night and the male incubates them in the day. This kind of co-parenting along with monogamous pair bonding is in fact the trend seen in birds, where sexual dimorphism is very low, meaning the males and females look almost exactly the same as each other. Now moving down from the trees and back to the water in the Sultanpur lake. We'll talk next about a very large, diverse glade populated almost entirely by waterbirds. It contains three main branches, the Stresores, Phaedocornithes, and Gruimorphae. The Stresores is the only one that doesn't contain waterbirds, and we're going to be talking about the other two, the Phaedocornithes and Gruimorphae. In the Phaedocornithes, after two basal lineages of pelagic seabirds like tropic birds and storm petrels, we get to these three clades. Starting with the storks, including the stork species found in India and Southeast Asia, the painted stork, with its bald bright orange head indicating a mature breeding adult. way we talked about different morphs for the different genders in ducks, painted storks do not have any significant sexual dimorphism. The males and females look the same, but the different stages of life of the painted stork look so different that they might even look like different species at first glance. Immature painted storks are brownish grey without the orange head. In fact, they actually have 3 stages. The nestlings have another different morph, which we'll see in my Keoladeo National Park series, where I'll show you painted stork nests. Painted storks wade in shallow water, moving their bills around to sense prey through touch. And when they feel a crustacean or small vertebrate, they shut their bill on it. Here you can see the older stork is disturbing the water and sediment with its feet to bring out the organisms inside. This is exactly the same mode of feeding as ibises, which are more closely related to herons and pelicans belonging to the pelicaniforms, but have a very similar feeding strategy as storks, which relies on tactile sensing of prey through sensitive nerve endings in their bills. Ibises even have their bills curved downwards to help them probe the mud better and reach underneath aquatic vegetation and feel for crustaceans and mollusks hiding there. The glossy ibis, with dark feathers that shine blue and green iridescently, giving the bird its name, and the black-headed ibis are both species which have both resident populations in India and migratory populations that arrive from outside during winter. Both storks and ibises also show another very common adaptation for semi-aquatic animals, where the nostrils have moved way back at the base of the bill, so that they can keep breathing while their bills are foraging underwater. But this species belonging to the family of ibises shows perhaps the most specialized adaptation for tactile feeding in shallow water. The Eurasian spoonbill has a spatula or spoon-shaped bill. This makes it unable to probe the mud like other ibises, but it maximizes the surface area of the sensitive prey-trapping part of the bill, increasing the likelihood of a pond critter getting detected and caught. So in the same basic ibis build, we see 2 different specializations, one for probing thick vegetation and mud, and the other for swaying in shallow water. Now in the same order, we have an entirely different method of catching underwater creatures. Herons do not use tactile sensing, they hunt with sight. They don't wade around with their bills dipped in the water, gobbling up anything that touches it. They are the archers or spearfishers among birds. You can see, compared to their relatives, they have much more forward-facing eyes for excellent depth perception. Early in the mornings and during evenings, they patrol shallow pools, scanning the water for activity. By the way, egrets and herons are the same. Some white species of the family are just called egrets. So once this egret spots a potential prey, it freezes right there, meditates on the target, making the end of its neck stiffer, preparing to strike. And then in a split second, the strike takes place. Now imagine you're an unsuspecting fish going about your business in this lake. How long do you have to react? This video is shot in 25 frames per second. This is where the strike starts. And by this frame, the fish has been caught. It happens within 5 frames, or a fifth of a second. Before the fish knows what happened, it will find itself impaled onto the heron's beak. Herons come in different size and color varieties, but have the same basic build. The little Indian pond herons, purple herons, and grey herons. Then there's the egrets. In the painted storks, we saw how 3 different stages of its life are so different they look like different species. Here with the little egret, the medium egret, and the great egret, their names and their appearances may make it seem like they're different life stages of the same species, but they are not. They are in fact 3 distinct species from one another. Other than their size, the little egret can be identified by its black beak and yellow feet. Between the medium and great egret, the differences are more subtle. The great egret's gape or edge of the mouth extends behind the eye, while the medium egret's doesn't. And the medium egret's head is more rounded than the great egret's. There are different kinds of water birds. In this video, we've talked about a variety of wading birds with long legs to walk in shallow water. But the closest related order to the order of herons is the Suliformes, and these birds, who also feed on fish, clearly lack the long legs we've been seeing so far. In fact, they have webbed feet because they hunt in the deeper part of the lake and dive underwater to catch fish. Birds are able to take their time swallowing large prey whole, which we as mammals can't, because our windpipe and esophagus overlap, which means we have to close the windpipe with the epiglottis while swallowing. However, in most reptiles, including birds, the windpipe and esophagus do not meet, so they can continue breathing while swallowing. Like the egrets, the cormorants also have 3 different sized species in India. The little cormorant, with its more rectangular forehead and very short bill. The all-black Indian cormorant with its slender bill. And then the great cormorant. Here we can see these great cormorants have patches of white feathers on their throats. This is them slowly acquiring their breeding plumage. By spring, they will have white breast, throat and thighs. This is a third kind of plumage variation where the same individual acquires a different plumage during breeding season every year. Then there is also a fourth species from the same order but a different family, the Oriental darter. Like we saw different variants of the same basic build in Ibises, similarly here you see the darter has a very similar build to that of a cormorant. But the difference is that while cormorants have hooked beaks, darters have a longer flexible neck with a sharper spearhead-like beak, exactly like the herons we just saw. So this is where we'll end part 2 of the Sultanpur National Park series. Stay tuned for part 3 where we'll talk about the rest of the species I saw. And keep watching Indian Naturalist.